One of the biggest questions haunting Manchester United right now is which of our most promising talents will survive the Amorim revolution? We've just witnessed the absolutely devastating Europa League final defeat to Tottenham, a match that didn't just crush our dreams of silverware, but also exposed the brutal reality of modern football politics at Old Trafford. But here's the thing that's got me absolutely stunned. This catastrophic loss has unleashed something far more shocking than just another trophyless season. It's triggered what I'm calling the Garnacho Protocol, a behind-the-scenes power. Play that could see one of our brightest academy stars completely erased from United's future. You're not going to believe what's really been happening with Alejandro Garnacho and why this entire situation is way bigger than anyone realizes. Now, before we dive into this properly, let me just say, losing a European final to Tottenham? That stings more than stepping on a Lego barefoot at 3 a.m., but what's really got everyone talking isn't just the defeat, it's what happened with Garnacho. Before and after that match, picture this scene hours before the biggest game of our season, arguably our only chance at silverware. Garnacho posts an Instagram story of himself scoring in last year's FA Cup final. Now, some of you might think, fair enough, trying to get motivated. But come on, we all knew what that meant. The lad was telling us he'd been benched and he wasn't happy about it. Amorim left him on the bench for the final, started Ahmad and Mason Mount ahead of him in that attacking setup. And you know what? After we lost 1-0, Garnacho didn't hold back. Called our season shit, which to be fair isn't exactly controversial, and when asked about his future just said, "We'll see." That's not the response of a player who's planning his summer holidays in Manchester, is it? But here's where it gets properly spicy. His brother Roberto jumped on social media claiming Alejandro had been thrown under a bus. Now, family getting involved in transfers. That's usually when you know things are getting serious. It's like when your mum starts arguing with the neighbors. You know it's escalated beyond repair. Let's rewind a bit though, because this isn't just about one game. Garnacho's relationship with Amorim has been rocky from the start. Remember back in December when both him and Rashford got dropped from the Manchester Derby squad because of their attitude? Rashford still hasn't played since. He's basically become a ghost at Carrington. But Garnacho did work his way back into contention. But even then, there were signs. That game against Ipswich when he got subbed at half-time and stormed straight down the tunnel? Amorim later said Garnacho offered to pay for a team dinner as an apology. Now that's either proper character development or someone who knows he needs to stay in the manager's good books. The thing is, until recently, Garnacho was still featuring regularly. He started in all 6 Europa League knockout ties leading up to the final. 2 weeks before that Spurs disaster, he was sitting next to Amorim in the press conference before the Athletic Bilbao semi-final. So what changed? Well, Ahmad came back. From injury looking sharp, Mason Mount finally started showing why we paid all that money for him. And suddenly, Garnacho found himself on the outside, looking in. In Amorim's 3-4-2-1 system, those 2 attacking midfield spots are crucial, and if you're not in them, you're not playing. Now, here's what's interesting from a business perspective. United knocked back a £40 million offer from Napoli in January. £40 million for a 20-year-old academy graduate. That's pure profit under financial fair play rules. No amortization, no transfer fee to write off, just straight cash that helps us buy other players. And with Matheus Cunha potentially. Coming in from Wolves, plus Bruno, Mount, Ahmad, Xerxes and Mainu, all competing for those creative positions, where does that leave Garnacho? The writing might already be on the wall, but let's talk about what we'd be losing here. This is a lad who joined us from Atletico Madrid at 16, came through our academy system, scored 7 goals in that FA Youth Cup triumph, and has already racked up 26 goals in 144 appearances for the first team. He's got pace, he can beat a man, and on his day he's one of the most exciting players to watch at Old Trafford. Remember some of those moments, the goals, the celebrations, the way he'd get the crowd going? At 20 years old, with a contract until 2028, this should be someone we're building around, not someone we're willing to let walk out the door. But here's the reality check. Sir Jim Ratcliffe said back in March that no player would be sold for purely financial reasons. Yet here we are, apparently ready to listen to offers for one of our most promising talents. It makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes, doesn't it? Amorim's comments after the final were telling too. We have a plan and we prepared for both situations, with Champions League and without. We have an idea what type of squad we want. That doesn't sound like someone who's desperate to keep hold of Garnacho. The frustrating thing for us fans is that we've seen this story before. Young, talented player doesn't fit the new manager's system, gets sold for decent money, then goes on to have a brilliant career elsewhere while we're left wondering what might have been. So where does this leave us? Well, Garnacho's representatives are already in talks with the club about his future. If a club comes in with significantly more than that $40 million Napoli bid, and in today's market, a young winger with his potential could easily go for $60–70 million, would United really turn it down? The summer transfer window is going to be crucial for this club. We need to decide what direction we're going in, what players fit Amorim's vision, and whether we're willing to sacrifice potential. For immediate tactical fit, what do you lot think? Are we making a massive mistake letting Garnacho go, or is this just the tough decisions that successful clubs have to make? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more United content like this. Because trust me, with this club there's always more drama around the corner.